Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. It is the 11th day of May, 2009. We're going to be live here for the next 4 hours. Coming up in the third hour today, Paul Joseph Watson will join us from the United Kingdom to discuss a series of articles he's written in the last week dealing with the formation of the European Union. And it's key to understand who formed the European Union to have the facts on who runs our planet, who controls our society today, and where we are going as a nation and as a planet. This deals with eugenics. This deals with the hopes and dreams of the New World Order, what makes them tick. And we have a lot of research we've covered in the past, but some new big developments have come to the fore, so we'll be breaking that down today. I had a chance to take off 3 full broadcast days, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. A refreshing respite. Feels like I had 100 years off after working 16 to 18 hours a day, almost continually for the last 6-8 months. I've come to the realization I need to take off more time because the sharpness comes back to the psyche, to the intellect. Things become so much clearer, and large founts or well springs of energy that had almost been forgotten return. So I'm going to be taking some more time off, especially to spend it with my family. Wrote a lot of notes, though, while I was out of town. A lot of ideas, a lot of points. And I filled up a small notebook with them. I'm going to try to codify those in the next few days and do a special broadcast sometime this week, later in the week, dealing specifically but properly with the architecture of the New World Order. Now, I have a lot of important news we're going to be covering today, and I do want to open the phones up. The toll-free number to join us to talk about the economy, the deteriorating situation in Pakistan, the deteriorating situation in Georgia with the shenanigans there last week, on the brink of war yet again between NATO and Russia through their puppet client state, Georgia. I want to discuss the economy, any of these issues, the tail end of the swine flu hype that they're now beating the drum for forced inoculations in the fall. We were right about that. The toll-free number to join us is 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. House bill aims to strip right-wing extremists of Second Amendment rights. Very, very important bill. When I got home last night, I was shocked to read Kurt Nemo's article at Infowars.com and actually read the bill itself, and it really does say that. We'll be breaking that down coming up in this hour. Also, part 2, remember last week we talked about that new legislation, Your Blog is a Weapon. House bill says hurting your feelings will be illegal, punishable by a felony. They will, of course, selectively enforce that. We'll go over that. Man detained for displaying Don't Tread on Me bumper sticker. Also in England, GCSE pupils brainwashed to support MMR vaccine. That dovetails with 2 billion infected. World Health Organization stokes swine flu fear, ABC News. And Barack Obama says he wants you to take 3 flu shots a year. Then I guess next year it'll be 6 and then 9, and then we won't eat anymore. When we wake up in the morning, there'll be a few dozen shots laid out on the table like Elvis's attack to be injected into our bodies. It's all coming up. Stay with us. Toll-free number to join us on air today, 1-800-259-9231. 1-800-259-9231. Let me run through some of the headlines here. Even the Associated Press, in an article titled Stimulus Watch Early Road Aid Leaves Out Neediest. This gives us a small window, because you've got to look through all the different windows to get a clear picture, because the media always covers things piecemeal, to learn that the White House had promised that the $787 million bailout would be fully accounted for and completely transparent. Instead, it's basically completely secret. Remember, this is the same White House following in the footsteps of previous White Houses, just intensifying the deception, the level of the arrogance, the level of the over-the-top lying. They came out and said that we are fighting against bonuses for CEOs and for executives of brokerage firms and banks that have received the trillions and trillions of dollars of TARP money. And it turned out, of course, the White House publicly signed an executive order and pressured Senator Dodd, who later blew the whistle when he got the blame for it politically. He said, hey, don't blame me, White House, you told me to. And we don't have to believe Dodd on that. The White House was on record signing an accompanying executive order with the law that he helped pass. This is the level of just amazing hypocrisy, specifically protecting giant cash bonuses for the CEOs of the brokerage firms and big banks. You got to hand it to them, though. It's just amazing arrogance. To come out on TV and shake his finger at the corporations that pay for his way, that have bought and paid for everything he's done in his political career and life. The foundations that first funded him in college and out of college. The foundations that ran him for the Senate in the state house in Illinois and then for the U.S. Senate. The foundations and big banks and brokerage firms that gave him 4 times the money on average, sometimes 5 times, it was the case of Goldman Sachs, what John McCain was given. And no, every time I mention that, I'm not saying vote for John McCain. The point is that if the mafia sends 2 hitmen out to kill the republic, out to take your freedom, all I'm saying is both those guys are hitmen. Both those guys work for the New World Order. They're here to kill our free society. They're here to dominate us, to conquer us, to usurp us, to stand their flag up on our nation's corpse and declare victory. Like they were roughnecks going up San Juan Hill. Or the Marines up on the mountain in Iwo Jima. Except it's not Marines conquering some far-off island in the Pacific after rousting the Japanese. It's criminal foreign corporate takeover through the governmental and institutional systems of the nation. So there's one article I want to get into. Also, Cheney is saying Obama endangers the nation. This gives him left cover. They have Cheney come out and go every week. Cheney says, look, Obama's a big liberal. He's freeing all the Taliban and Al-Qaeda people. He's a big liberal. He's stopping the torture and stopping the waterboarding and stopping the illegal spying. Cheney's a guy with a 9% approval rating. And so the establishment and Cheney himself knows this is all part of the little dance by coming out and attacking Obama and saying he's a big liberal who's basically giving the Arabs and Central Asians they hold at all these camps back rubs and jacuzzis and they're playing golf at Club Fed, which is not true. That's all part of the theatrical backdrop of people they hold there. By Cheney coming out and doing this, because Cheney's not stupid. Cheney works for the very same people that control Obama. He knows Obama is continuing all of their policies and protecting the Bush administration on record for investigations of torture and waterboarding and saying they were above the law and stealing money and corporate payoffs and no-bid contracts and everything else. It's seamless continuation of the last policies. Even the MIT-controlled leftist Noam Chomsky's out admitting that and being howled at right now by the controlled left. They're speaking out against the Messiah. Barack Obama, the newest puppet, the newest diversion. So Cheney is coming out and criticizing Obama for things Obama isn't doing, knowing that he is energizing the left and the 91% of the public, not just the left, but the 91% of the public that hate Mr. Cheney, who has the lowest approval rating of any politician since the modern